Jeanie show. It's the Aleut, the Indian and the Eskimo. It's the Aleut, the Indian and the Eskimo.
Hello and welcome to Heartbeat Alaska, Native News and Native Information. I'm Jeanie Greene, and today we have another exciting program for you. We travel north to Shishmaref, Alaska, located on the Shishmaref Island in the Tocktoo Sea. It's a great show. I'll be back with the good people in Shishmaref right after this.
Heartbeat Alaska is brought to you in part by Bristol Environmental and Engineering Services, serving Alaska since 1994, a subsidiary of Bristol Bay Native Corporation.
Hi, I'm Mark from Scan Home, and we are proud to sponsor Heartbeat Alaska.
Scan Home, serving all of Alaska's home and office furnishing needs. Thank you, Scan Home, for making Heartbeat Alaska possible.
Heartbeat Alaska is brought to you in part by Brown's Electric Lighting Gallery. Thank you, Brown's Electric, for your generous support of Heartbeat Alaska.
Heartbeat Alaska is brought to you in part by Coastal Villages Region Fund. Thank you, CVRF, for your support of Heartbeat Alaska. And
by the Nature Conservancy of Alaska, working with Alaska's rural communities to conserve and protect our natural heritage. Welcome back. Shishmaref, Alaska, that's where we're going today. It's located on the 2.6 million acre Bering Land Bridge. It's a national reserve, once connecting Russia to mainland America through Alaska. It's a very, very historical area of Alaska. Lots of archaeological sites all over that area. Once the home of dinosaurs. Depending on who you talk to in Alaska, the lower 48 is usually considered the mainland. But there is a certain place, 126 miles north of Nome, 100 miles southwest of Kotzebue, a place that considers Alaska the mainland, Shishmaref. Located on Shishmaref Island in the Tocktoo Sea, just north of the Bering Straits, it is 5 miles from the Alaska mainland. A traditional Eskimo village with the population being 94.5% of Alaska Native or part Native. The native village of Shishmaref is a federally recognized tribe. Archaeologists have even found evidence of Eskimo habitation from several centuries. With only 2.8 square miles of land and 4.5 square miles of water, this community of approximately 562 people find themselves surrounded by the 2.6 million acre Bering Land Bridge National Reserve.
The reason why it was called the Bering Land Bridge was during several ice ages when it was possible for human beings and other animals to walk across from Siberia to America through this portion, most likely that this portion's area was right here. Before the last ice age, or during the last ice age, it was possible for people and animals to walk back and forth. until, say, 10,000 years ago, when the ice started melting again and formed the present situation that we got between western Alaska and Russia.
This is a mastodon bone, leg bone.
How old do you think that is?
Man, I wouldn't know. If it's petrified, then it has to be a good million years old, I would believe.
Native folks around here, folks were utilizing this area at least 10,000 years ago through findings at the Trail Creek caves. Now, when people started migrating, these are probably, they were here pre-contact, which is 16 to 1500, BC. But records show that, there are archaeological findings that probably suggest prior to 1200 BC.
Keeping our culture alive, that's very important. And everybody from in the village knows something, and we get to go hunting or sewing.
It's been fun, nice, especially when hunting season.
The animals for subsistence areas that we got around the Bering Land Bridge are mostly the moose, the caribou, small animals like the hare, Arctic hare, foxes, red foxes. There are bears, grizzly bears, brown bears, but hardly any black bears. We got mostly grizzly bears up here, and most of the diet for the Shishmaref folks, at least, are they're associated with the sea mammals. They're mainly small sea mammals. Occasionally, we will get large mammals, sea mammals like the whale and beluga, but the main diet for Shishmaref is the small sea mammals, which is the bearded seal. And right now, the Western Arctic caribou herd has migrated westward to about the vicinity of Serpentine River and eastward. About 10 years ago, they used to be calving and around Deering and Buckland area. Within 10 years, they have moved sort of westward, and now some of the caribou are calving within the Bering Land Bridge, mainly between North Fork, Serpentine, and up to Deering, which is welcome staple for the natives for Shishmaref.
The Shishmaref economy is based on subsistence supplemented by part-time wage earnings. Year-round jobs are limited. Villagers rely on fish, walrus, seal, polar bear, rabbit, and other subsistence foods.
I am an actor. I'm a woman, I'm native, and I vote. And I don't leave it to others to tell me what matters. To me, every issue is a woman's issue. Every issue is a native issue. Whatever your issue is, be heard. No boxes, no masks. I am Alaska. You are Alaska. Vote.
This program sponsored in part by Phillips Alaska. Dreamers who make it happen.
I like to dream.
Hi, this is Jeanie Greene. From Southeast Alaska to the Chukchi Sea to the interior tundra and everything in between, Heartbeat Alaska brings you stories from across the state to the lower 48. Join us as natives share their stories with you.
Every week, right here on KAKM.
For many people living on an island, their own island, would be like paradise. And it is in a way for the good residents of Shishmaref, but it's also a lot of hard work battling with the Tocktoo Sea.
One house used to be way over here on this side where there's no land anymore. They moved it up. A hut house. Old two-story building used to be over here on this side and it fell over.
Our island's getting smaller. Erosion, everybody's talking about erosion. They make it seem bad, but I don't think it's that bad.
I think 74 was the first real bad one we had, real bad flooding. And I think that's when they first started putting up seawalls. First ones were just, I don't know what they were. Gabions, I think.
The sandbags, that's what all those
Yeah.
right there, huh?
Yep. No, just sign is too fine. They always just go right through the sandbags. And then I think after that they put in those armor-light cement blocks. Those lasted for, I don't know, 10, 15 years, I guess.
Same problem again. No, I see it.
And then the water started going in the back of them and then started cutting them from the back when the waves came around.
I see like that truck down there. Part of the seawall, or?
That was part of that seawall when there used to be a house over there in front of it. That 1 year, because it was getting real close to the edge.
I remember when we used to go ride down the seawall with bikes and then bike around on the beach.
And now?
No, you can't do that. We used to ride pass through all the way around with four-wheelers and ride bikes.
Seems like after every flood, we start working on a new seawall. Not before a flood comes around.
The erosion problem around Seward Peninsula is real active, starting probably back in 1974, when all of Seward Peninsula was hit with a vicious storm where the waters came up and there was a lot of erosion taking place all around Seward Peninsula, but most of it, to my knowledge, has hit the barrier islands from Wales to Cape Espingburg, especially more so in the area of Shishmaref there. Ever since then, annually, Shishmaref along the coastlines has been battered.
Last year, they were saying something like, I don't know how many feet, about 50 feet, I think.
50 feet in 1 year, one season?
That was just last year, yep, because we used to have more, these sand dunes over here used to be bigger. And then they just from the undercut, they just keep falling down, and it's going to get worse when it melts over here. Some more of that's, you know, on the undercut part, all that, because some of that undercut is about 30, 40 feet, I think.
The weather. When it gets windy, our land will erode from on the ocean.
All from here, starting from here. There used to be one house over here by this green building, another one here, another one here. This one just fell down. The next ones were another one house. There was a two-story house that just fell over the cliff because it was so old, you know, they didn't want to move it. And right next to that, the other one, last year I think it fell down to.
Shishmaref faces the most visible problem there because of the undercutting of the erosion action. And Shishmaref has got together with local folks, with the state and federal agencies to try to arrest the erosion problem in Shishmaref there. And so far, they're looking at several options of relocations, which were at Ikpik, Singick, and the 4 or 5 mile point.
We're trying to set up a vote for the village to see if they want to stay here in Shishmaref or move someplace inland.
You guys formed a coalition about it, huh?
Yeah. The coalition wanted to make it an official vote, I think.
Most likely, when Shishmaref evacuates and come up to a new site, we'll be looking at the mainland about a little southwest, 4 miles southwest of Shishmaref in the mainland, back around this area right here.
Will they be protected by that strip of land?
Yeah, this area that Shishmaref is looking at is sort of on a high plateau and is accessible to Shishmaref's main diet and environment and associated with small mammals of the Bering Sea.
Shishmaref, one of my most favorite villages in the whole state of Alaska, not only because practically the whole village is related to me. Hello, friends and relatives. Thank you for joining us. Shishmaref is famous not only for having some of the best native food in the state of Alaska, Ugric, my favorite, but also their artists are renowned throughout the state and the world, and we'll learn about those artists and meet some of their youth right after this.
Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. I'll show you my carving when it's done after a while. It will be done in a few hours. That's how I'll take my time on it, but I'll get it done in a couple hours. So I'll see you all later, and have a nice day in Shishmaref. It's a beautiful day out there.
For more than 50 years, Frontier Flying Service has been your connection to rural Alaska. Frontier Flying Service, a proud sponsor of Heartbeat Alaska.
It's Heartbeat Alaska. It's Heartbeat Alaska. You can hear it from Sitka to Barrow. Gather around for Jeanie's show. It's the Aleut, the Indian, and the Eskimo.
Every week, right here on KAKM.
Aviation. It's knowing how to make distances seem shorter. The art of buying you time. The business of bringing people together. And another reason to look up. Era Aviation. This is our sky.
Edwin Weyiouanna has been carving since he was 11 years old. He's just one of several artists who live in Shishmaref and supplement their incomes through carving. Edwin's first carving was a horned owl.
I could have sold it for $7, but I had sold it for $5 because I spelled my last name wrong.
Edwin spent 2 years in Santa Fe, New Mexico, attending the Institute of American Indian Arts, where he fine-tuned his skills to become the master carver he is today.
I always try to take my time on my carvings. I don't make the same thing. I make different things every time I carve. I'm gonna curve it. I'm gonna round this off so it will fit right into the kayak right here. It's gonna be pegged on, and I'm gonna make a little seal floater back here. And I'm gonna put an oar. I'm gonna put his oars. His oars will be on the side, but they're out of hickory. I finish at least one piece a day sometimes. Quite a few Eskimos around here that I always carve. They learn when they're young too by watching. They ask to learn how to carve. I just tell them they just gotta watch, see how I used to. I mostly use only one bit. Just one bit, that's it. That's real big, all right, but I always think, get along with that one. Everybody got their own ideas, and they carve what they want to carve. We use whalebone carvings,
horn, ivory, everything that comes out of the Mother Nature. Utilize everything.
That's made out of horn. I got the horn from the same horn from that one.
The first World Eskimo Indian Olympics took place at Fairbanks in 1961, drawing contestants and dance teams from Barrow, Unalakleet, Tanana, Fort Yukon, Norvik, and Nome. Native peoples of the circumpolar areas of the world have gathered in small villages to participate in games of strength, endurance, balance, and agility. Along with these athletic games, dancing, storytelling, and other audience participation games took place. This has provided an opportunity for friendly competition, entertainment, and laughter, while still providing an atmosphere to build, renew, and form new friendships. Because of the popularity of these games, records have been broken almost every year and became the parent to games such as Native Youth Olympics. Today, we find Nichole Turner practicing the one-hand reach.
Last year, the person that went to state, she got 50 feet. I mean, inches. Just have to find a comfortable spot. Balance yourself. Go as high as you can go. Put your arm up and touch the ball and go back down and balance for like 3 seconds longer and then you're done.
Irene Ahgupuk puts her best foot forward in the Alaskan high kick.
This is my first year doing the Alaskan high kick, and it's kind of hard, but I'm getting used to it. And I'm also doing the scissor broad jump, stick pull, and leg pull. And I'm doing this because I'm involved in all kinds of sports in high school, from beginning of school to end. And this is my second year for NYO, and last year was my first because I wanted to try something new. And this year I wanted to do better than last year, to try to go to state.
And speaking of state, the boys basketball team took first place this year at the state competitions. And it's no surprise when you consider that basketball is the village sport. With very little recreation available during winter days, the gym has become an escape for everyone, kids and adults alike.
Yeah, we just love the game, love of the game. Almost everybody plays basketball. We're the shortest teams up there in Anchorage, but we still win state. Our record was 19-5. It was a real shocker. Didn't expect to win state.
Our senior class are making buttons to sell at our tournament here. We have a spring carnival each year in April, and we'll be selling them and drawing tickets for round trip tickets to Nome or anywhere, and jackets and other door prizes.
And it was also a busy week for the toddlers of Shishmaref, with the Noodles and Novels program taking place.
Yeah, we have Noodles and Novels, which is actually part of our Success for All reading program. It's kind of a component to get the community involved with the reading program that we have here through different activities. And it's really educational for the families. You can have a spaghetti dinner, We have Rich Sustenko is going to give a little presentation. He has like this infant reading program where they introduce, babies and the families of infants to the whole process of reading. We're going to have book giveaways.
And not only are these books educational to these kids, but they taste good too.
Going to have some fun with a book walk, same format as like a cake walk, but we'll be giving out books, which is tied in with the RIF program, with Reading is Fundamental. So we got the books from that and tying it in with the whole reading program. So should be a lot of fun. We're going to have some kindergarten and first grade Eskimo dancing going on, so that'll be interesting as well.
It was a busy week for the busy village of Shishmaref, who will be busy preparing for the celebrations and challenges their environment has in store for them this spring. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this Heartbeat Alaska. And hello and thank you to our good friends in Shishmaref, Alaska, my friends and relatives. Thank you all so very much for your hospitality to our cameraman when he was there. We love you. And God bless every one of you. And God bless you, too. And thank you for joining us for another Heartbeat Alaska. I'm Jeanie Greene. We'll be here again for you next week.